Hey guys, still here and welcome to Rescue HQ. I have a knack for rescue games, whether it's Stormworks, whether it's managing response services, or whether it's doing something like this. Rescue HQ is a game where you build a rescue center, or rather a base for police, fire and ambulance services. That's what I'm going to be doing today, and let me show you how it works. Currently they have a couple of different scenarios. It's a German game, by the way. You have a German scenario in Berlin, you have San Francisco, Berlin again, and SF again, but these are the hard mode. And then you have a sandbox in Berlin. I do expect them to add more maps or more scenarios. So let's go with the streets of San Francisco. Now you start out fairly easy. You start out fairly easy. You have a budget here on the top left side of the screen. You have 150,000 funds, dollars, whatever you want to call it. And with these you can build a base. Now these are all the lots that I can use to build my base. And I don't immediately get everything. As you can see here, I just have access to a corridor, an office, a utility area and a garage. That's all that the game gives me right now. And that's really all that you need to get started. I'm going to get started with police cruisers, I'm going to have police lockers, I'm going to have a police hiring station, and I'm going to have corridors allowing me to connect all these facilities together. Now there's a lot of information on the screen, so let me walk you through it. Here on the top left hand side we have the budget, and next to it is the reputation. Reputation says how many points you have, and with reputation you can unlock additional items. If I switch this over to show all objects, you can see that there's a hell of a lot more categories, and these things get increasingly more expensive. If I, for example, want to unlock a fast police pursuit vehicle, I would need 600 of these stars, or 600 reputation points. Next, you have your overall performance rating. If this is good enough, then you're going to get ranked up in a week. And a week game time can be about an hour or 90-minute play. And with that you can unlock additional slots for the stars, because now my maximum is 600, which means that I'll never be able to afford the off-road fire truck, because I simply can't afford it. I'll never be able to have 1,000 stars. So at the event where you rank up, you're going to have a bigger cap for your reputation. Next to that you have all these 0/0s. This is the amount of employees versus the hiring cap. So I have 0 firefighters out of a cap of 0. That's because I haven't built any lockers yet. Over on the right side you see it is week 0, day 0, 600 or 6 AM. And then you have these weird bars. This is the timeline. This is the timeline for today. So this is the day shift and this is the night shift. And you have different people per shift. Then this is the next day and the next day and so forth. You see these getting progressively smaller, but they do give you very valuable information, because sometimes you're going to see an event pop up. There might be a conference in your town, or there might be, let's say, a sports event. And this can definitely impact the availability that you need. Aside from that you have speed for the game, pause, standard, faster and fastest. Over here on the left hand side you have a couple of buttons which allow you to build various items. I'm going to switch this back to show all buildable and unlockable, because this is all that I can currently build until I get more reputation. Beside that you have employees. I currently cannot have any employees because I don't have any lockers or a base for them to go. And besides that you have resources, but again I don't really have any. Now I have this area over here. This is 2 lots connected by this little, I don't know what you want to call it, walkway here. Then there is an additional lot. It says complete the police precinct 5 out of 5, and that's the slots that I have over here. And then I can buy the additional lot for 66,000 credits or funds. Over here I have another one for 92,400, so this is going to be a long way off before I'm going to be able to afford this. Alright, so let's get started. You see these arrows here. And these arrows indicate that this is a part where a vehicle can exit my facility and get to the road and to the emergency that they're heading off to. I need this to be big enough to slot a police cruiser. So I need to have it at least this wide. Now I don't want to spend too much on the garage just yet. Yeah, this... There we go, now it can fit. Now, your vehicles and whatever else you build arrives in these boxes. Other YouTubers have called it the IKEA style of building a emergency facility. You can call it whatever you want, but these things get unpackaged over a period of time. The bigger the project, the more time you need. And then they all of a sudden spawn into a vehicle. Okay, let's make the garage slightly bigger, so that there's room for another police cruiser, because there might be more than one emergency at a time. And over here in the back, I want to have the rest of my facilities. I'm going to start out with a utility room. This is where the lockers are going to be. And, of course, everything will need a door, because otherwise I cannot get to my facility at all. So I'm going to have a corridor up here, and the main entrance over there. So this is the main entrance for my facility. I'm going to have a door over here to the left to move to the garage. We have a door over here, and now I can set up the lockers. One locker adds 2 police hiring crew cap. So if you have, let's say, 5 lockers, you can get 10 police officers in your squad. You can set these up like this. You can also set them up in the middle of the room. But if you want to do that, then you're first going to have to build an interior wall, because these lockers are seemingly joined to a wall. So now I can have a grand total of 14 police officers. That should do for the moment. What the game other needs me to do is build an office. I'm going to do that over here in the back. It's going to be a fairly large office, because you will need those.
A police precinct must handle: paperwork. We need an office with desks. Local police tell us they have intel about a new gang settling in. Expect an increase in crime.
Lovely. This is one of those events that I mentioned a minute ago. We have small-time gangsters, and this means that, let's say during the night shift, at least starting during today's night shift, I'm going to need riot or SWAT gear. And you can see this event stretches out over 3 days. Now at the moment I don't have that yet, so I'm going to have to unlock that fast. And I can see what the price would be for unlocking that, because the riot gear is 600 stars. So it's going to take me a little bit of time to get the stars after doing my missions. Alright, let's set up the rest of the corridor here. And I want these guys to be able to move through here freely. And also set up a door over here. Now, it says you need to build a police hiring station. A police hiring station is a facility where a police officer sits, I suppose browses a website like Indeed, and tries to get new police officers to join. Now you see those feet over to the right hand side of that chair. That means that that is a path that your people will have to take in order to get there. So if I were to fit my desk over here, it says nope, you cannot do that. The part cannot be reached by a crew. So I'm going to move it over here, and I'm going to have another one right next to it. And if I place it over here, it's going to once again say, nope, you can't do that, because then this desk cannot be reached. So I'm going to place it down over there. I also need to have a paperwork storage and a file storage. Now these things are unlockable for free. So let's throw in a paperwork storage and a police desk. You gotta do the paperwork. Let's see, can I fit 2 of them in here? No, not quite. And this is where the strategy of this game kind of starts out. Because the question is, how are you going to make sure that everything fits in the limited space that you have? How can you make these spaces as effective and as efficient space-wise as possible? Now, police desks are required to do the paperwork, and the paperwork then gets stored in the paperwork storage. So that's what I have all of these facilities for, and at some point you can run out. You can find that your paperwork storage is full. Now everything's going to get built. You're going to see that these bars are progressing. The ping says the mission or the objective is done. And there we go. Alright, and now I need to build one last thing, and that's the file storage.
Get a couple of cruisers,
Done.
desks, and lockers. Well, and weapons, of course.
Okay, so now we have 10 officers who just walked in. This is one of the few times that you actually get personnel for free. The rest of the time you're going to have to unlock them. So you're going to have to come in with a recruiting desk, that's what I have these two for, and try to find new personnel. And there is already an emergency over here. What we have is that somebody broke into a renowned video store and made away with a masterpiece 90s TV shows collection. We need to drag the local flea markets and follow the trail to arrest the perpetrator. This screen works as following. It tells you on the top what the requirements are. You need 2 police officers. You also have a slot of 6 hours to complete this mission. So I can respond to it in 4 hours. And then if I send people on this mission, it's going to take 6. It's going to reward me 2,700 money and 60 stars. So I'm going to assign a crew member or 2. Actually, I already... Yeah, let me explain that as well. Krista over here is a veteran or seasoned police officer. And this means that she counts as 2 police officers. That's why, if I select her, you can immediately see the dispatch jump to 100%. If I were to select Sammy, it would jump to 80, because it's only 1 police officer. I also need to assign them a vehicle, and I can either go for a dispatch now at 80%, or have Gene Boyce also on the mission and dispatch him then. So they're going to head off on that mission. You can see them here walking to their lockers, getting the stuff that they need, and then marching off into the garage and trying to get over to the facility or to the mission as quickly as possible. Okay, so these guys are out on a mission for the next 6 hours. I still have a couple of missions up. I need to build police lockers, so I need to have more of those. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3. That concludes the 10, and I'm going to build an armory. The armory normally is something that you have to unlock. This time around I got it for free because it's required for this event which is coming up, the Small Time Gangsters. I need to fit, I think, at least 2 of these because they are rather important, and one armory
also needs
provides...
sufficient...
Shut up. One armory provides 1 set of SWAT gear, so it's like 1 officer can use it. Next we need to build a toilet, a shower cabin, a bathroom sink, a refrigerator, and a bed. So I'm going to need quite a few more facilities over here. Let's start with the bathroom. There's no real requirements other than the fact that you need to have them. But they get shared male-female across. There's no problem with that, apparently. Okay, 2 shower cabins for now. I'm going to give these guys slightly more privacy and add a couple of walls there. There's my shower stalls. Next, I want a couple of toilets. Let's go with those on the other side. Middle mouse button rotates the screen, by the way. And a couple of bathroom sinks. Now, all of these things have an important element. You can see that these shower cabins are for after action. Toilets allow you, your guys to go to the bathroom, and if they don't get to go to the bathroom, they're going to leave the police station while they're on duty to find a bathroom somewhere else, which means that your operator or your police officer is not available. And this removes dirty hands traits, and dirty hands traits are one of the many traits that your police officers can have. If I select this lady over here, that is, if I can click her, this is Tanika Avera. Currently she has no traits. She's just a police officer of rank 1, which is the lowest rank you can get them. And she has 0 out of 200 experience that she needs to get to the next rank. Now, these guys also cost you money. She has a weekly wage of 691. This is not too bad. Your biggest expense is going to come from units like this, because this police cruiser costs me 4,200 money per week. So you're looking at quite a lot of expenses going on. Now you can see that I have these progression bars up here. This one's already starting, this one's not, because there's nobody here. These 2 are already started, these are the police desks. And what you can see over here is that once this thing is full, I'm going to have a new applicant. And it looks like they already completed 1 cycle because there is already 1 new applicant. Now I get to pick, do I want this person for the day shift or for the night shift? There is, however, one problem. This is a rookie. This is somebody, I don't know, fresh out of college. They have 0 experience whatsoever. And this means that they're virtually useless until I get them trained up. An officer who's not trained up cannot be sent out on a mission. So I'm going to have to train them up first. And then make sure that they have enough experience to go out on a mission. That can take a couple of days. So try and get these people early. Make sure you have a training room, which I currently do not have yet. And eventually the applicants will become useful. Now there are a few other things that I need to build. I need to build a kitchen and a bedroom. I'm going to extend my corridor over here. And this part can serve as the bedroom. Again, a bedroom is a place that you get your people to relax in. There we go. Oh, I took a bit of a bite out of the corridor there. Initially with the bedroom you start with the standard beds, but eventually you can get bunk beds, which doubles your capacity for beds, of course. These again are free for now, normally need to be unlocked. And I'm just going to set up a couple of beds. Especially since I'm early on in the campaign, I don't need that many. And this side over here is going to be the kitchen. Again, if your people don't have a kitchen or don't have a bedroom, you're going to find that they run off and go and find food elsewhere. I mean, I don't really blame them. They gotta get fed, but I don't want them to leave my station in the middle of their shift. There, a couple of fridges, and with these, the guys will be able to eat. Now, let these things progress. And in the meanwhile, we have 2 new emergencies, so now I have a problem. I need to pick. I can send people on this one, and since this one's only going to take another 90 minutes, and this one expires in 4 hours, I can send the officers and the car, who come back after 90 minutes to go after this emergency. So let's have a look at this one. Some angry citizens are escalating their arguments. Neighbors have placed in an emergency call. Send a police crew on location. Now I only have 1 police cruiser available. Let's send in Marilyn and Tanika. I might as well send my rookie in as well. I'm not sure if they get experience from this mission. So let's try that. Make the game progress. And this means that I only have 1 officer left. And
we need to set up a basic area to train our
there we go, we need
rookies.
to train the rookies.
A space for some bench pressing and door kicking will do for now.
Okay, so that's the next part. Build a training room. And the training room, I already reserved a space for that over here. Now let's first set up the items that I need in it. I can get a bench pressing location, but these are fairly large. Or I can get a door kicking training, a training door. I just found that the animations for these doors are a little weird. Because more often than not, these people try to kick from the wrong side of the door. Maybe that's why they're rookies, I don't know. I'm going to set up a couple of doors, and that should allow my guys to get more work done. Now, I'm also going to disallow these stations for now, because my priority at the moment is to get more personnel. I also need to have a bench press machine, that's an objective here. The problem with that is that I cannot afford it yet. I can unlock it for 100 stars. And there we go, first mission is done. We have a successful emergency, and that gets you cash and rewards, or reputation rather. So 60 points have been gathered. The police cruiser is back. And I can now send my people out on this emergency. They're not quite classed as being back yet. Here we are. Now they are. Okay. What do we have here? We're informed an ambush is set up in retaliation for some high-profile arrests that have been made. I haven't made any arrests yet, so that might have been a different precinct. Our precinct has been tasked with gathering as much information as possible before the event occurs. We're going to set up a stakeout with one of our teams. Okay, we can do that. We just need 2 police officers and actually a 3rd one. Yeah, we need 3 of them. It's going to be another 6-hour op, 3,500 cash, 70 stars. Off you go. And now I have 100 reputation, so now if I have enough room in this training room, I can get a bench press machine set up. I just don't really know if I'm going to be able to fit that in here. Maybe like this? Yeah, it's it's getting a bit crowded in here, but it works. Unfortunately, this door is no longer reachable. My training room's too small. Alright, since I have quite a bit of cash left, I'm gonna extend this facility, or rather move it over there, and make sure that my guys can do some training. Bench press machine over here. That other door over here, and I will definitely find another use for the room that I just cleared. There. So I'm going to have a bench press machine, and the next stage is to have 200 reputation. They're off. These guys are both looking for new candidates, new recruits. And who do we have over here? This is Jacqueline. Jacqueline can also use the bench press machine, and this trains officers at a level of 0 and 1. And you can slowly see that her traits are going to go up. It's not fast, it doesn't have to be, and unfortunately this also has another side effect. It makes your people tired. The more tired these people become, the less they will perform, and if they get exhausted, they're going to start making mistakes. You don't want that. Now, I'm about to start the night shift, and these people I can either send back home to relax, or I can have them go on overtime. And I can say, nope, I'm sorry, I need you on this night shift. So at the moment I don't really need anything because I don't think it's going to be that bad. There are some gangsters coming up, but I do have a couple of very veteran police officers on here, like Maynard. So I think I can make do with that.
Lowlifes have been seen hanging around the city.
Here we go.
It's only a matter of time until events will start unfolding.
Now Jacqueline's going to start to head home, and the new crew has just arrived. You can see that they immediately start back on the recruitment process, and I think we're going to see some new officers very soon. You're also going to see up here on the left how many crew members of this type are idle. I currently have 2 of them idle. This is not ideal. I want them to actually be able to do something. Also, why are these things... Nobody's working here. Yeah, I figured that out. I might as well open up one of these police desks so that they are going to have something to do. We got a new applicant available. Now, since the night shift is slightly less occupied than the day shift, I'm going to send Rhonda Ramsden over here to the night shift. So she should be arriving momentarily. There she is. And we have a new op. A hemp paraphernalia shop has been reported selling the actual product without a license. Oh dear. We need to catch them in the act, so we need to set up a sting operation. It's going to take 3 hours, 2200, and it's going to get me 40 reputation. Let's send these guys out. I can send another one if I want to get to the 100%. 90% is going to give me 36 stars, but still gets you the full reward. Since Brian currently is tired... Yeah, now I still have a police cap of 4 points available, although... No, I'm going to go with 3. Brian is tired. And at the moment, I don't have any relaxation facilities yet. Other than the bedroom, that is. I wouldn't be surprised if that is, in fact, Brian. Who are you? Not really sure. Ah, here you go. See, this is a bit weird. I guess that you're a rookie, but the door's on the other side. I'm not sure if she's really aggressively kicking the wall out of frustration of not being able to break through the door or something, but it's a little weird. And it is also quite tiring. You can see she's exhausted. So she's going to head over to the bedroom and get some sleep. On shift, I might add. Alright, successful emergency, 70 stars and a bunch of cash. I need to have 200 reputation in order to progress. I also have another applicant, so you're going to go to the day shift. And I keep alternating the day shift and the night shift like that. Now, I might need a bit more garage space over here, and since I have plenty of cash, I can get that going right now. Just to reserve this space for garages. They cannot get in here yet, so let's set up a door. And as soon as I place a police cruiser down, you're going to see that it opens up the roadside. But I might need to get another police car. Just not one of these. So let's progress a little faster. Speed to full. Oh, by the way, these things, they generate cash. They generate 1200 cash per cycle. Okay, what do we have? The store is being robbed. Here we go. Fortunately, both of my cruisers are home, so I can send either or both of them out. The interesting thing is, this is going to need 3 police officers. So I can do it like this, or I can send my one-man army in the form of Maynard. Maynard is a veteran officer. He counts as 3 police officers. He is a pursuit driver, and he is also a sergeant. He's very good at organizing police. +1 police skill for every other policeman on emergency. I'm only going to send him out if I need him as a sort of booster. I'm also going to give him 1 set of SWAT gear, and if I do that, that makes the dispatch 110%. Which is a bit more than I need, so I'm going to keep Rusty over here back at home. The other emergency is that another ambush is being set up. So I can send out these guys. Oh, this is the rookie. Okay, Maynard, you're going to do that all by yourself. Probably not the best use of my forces, but so be it. I'm just going to have to train up these rookies as quickly as possible. Let's get another bench press machine, so these guys get a bit more training. Training, bench press. They're going to have to just zigzag their way there. And I can get a chair in the kitchen. And I can get a chair in the bedroom. Yeah, that's not really too fascinating. And chairs over here in the office. No, I'm fine. Okay, successful emergency. Some of the guys are back. You can see that police cruisers have hit points. There's the current health of the vehicle. If your vehicle gets too damaged, it's going to break down. So you gotta keep these things maintained. And if you don't have a vehicle maintained all the time, it's not a problem, but they are starting to get less and less and less reliable. Now, at this point, I have a choice to make. I have 2 emergencies and not enough vehicles. So I'm going to have to either go for another hemp shop or the video store again. Let's send these guys out. And I'm just going to get another police cruiser. Because I think that that thing might get built just before the mission expires. In another hour. It's going to be tight though. Okay, welcome to the day shift. Come on, there we go. Okay, the police cruiser is ready, and now I can send out my guys. The shop never went anywhere, apparently. So I can send these guys out on the mission. Off you go. You can see that my rating currently is 100%, because at the moment I have covered everything. At some point you're going to find that you're going to get overwhelmed, and you simply don't have the resources, being either manpower or vehicles or equipment, to completely handle an emergency. That's when this rating is going to go down. It's not terrible, but it will impact the chances of you ranking up. And you can see that my reputation rank increases, and with that also my maximum reputation cap. But this is going to take quite a while, because I'm still on day 1. And this is only going to happen on day 7. I'm going to once again shut these things down. I want my police officers to be working their recruitments.
We
make
can
sure
also
I get more
process
staff.
suspects ourselves. The corrections department will refund some of our expenses. Actually, even more than we spend.
Okay, this is good. This means that I can now build a holding cell. And I need to have a suspect processing bench and a holding cell door. The holding cell is something that I might just be able to fit in here. So I can retask this room as a holding cell. Let's say get this door out of the way. and instead deploy a holding cell door. Like that. Then you also get the holding cell or the suspect processing bench. This is a really funny thing because this is where officers go to chew off or chew out their inmates. If I deploy it like this, you can see it has 3 sets of feet over there, which means that this is where the inmates are going to sit and this is where the police officer is going to stand. Unfortunately, the room is quite small and there's not really any good room to place another one other than this. So they're just going to have to sit here and, well, get yelled at by the police. Another emergency. Angry citizens, once again, escalating. You can see, though, that my guys are feeling quite tired. The only one who's not tired, in fact, is Krista. So I'm going to send Krista out there on her own to deal with this emergency. Now this is Rescue HQ. I really like this game.
And a fire department now. Both
As the mayor is saying, you can expand into medical divisions and fire departments, and that's something that I'm going to be doing next episode. If you want to get this game, it is on Steam. It is reasonably priced. I believe it's about 20 euros, so it's not that bad. I got my key from the developer. Let me just mention that. And I requested it myself because I really like the look of this game and I really wanted to show it to you guys as well. We're going to be continuing this series probably weekly, and with that we're going to continue to build more and more stuff on here and get all the various departments ready. Let me know what your thoughts are on the game. I really like it. It has some really good elements. Some weird stuff like rookies kicking the wrong side of a door, but I think that end time is all going to get patched out. Let me know what you think about the game down below in the comments, and aside from that, I shall see you next week for the next episode.